Well, welcome everybody. Let's begin, and thanks for joining me. As you probably heard from the recording feature, I'm going to record this so that it's available if you want to watch it later, or if somebody who couldn't be here wants to watch it. So here we are on September 13th, 2023, and today we're going to talk about calming our mind. And then gaining perspective. So I've got two kind of what I would consider meaty meditations to do that I've come across recently. And that's what I usually try to do. I usually try to find some new stuff and some different kinds of things that you can give a try to and see if you like it. So hopefully you find these ones helpful. And hope you had a good summer. We're not quite done yet, and a good Labor Day. But here we are in September already. This is kind of a busy time of year for a lot of people, and can also be a very stressful time of year. Kids going back to school, and it just seems like everything sort of ramps up and gets busier, right? This time of year. So I thought we would start with a quick grounding practice. This is something we did a couple of months ago. Back in July, we focused on our senses, and this is one of the quick practices. So all it really is you bring your hand up in front of you, and then you trace your hand with your other finger. And as you go up, you breathe in. And as you come down, you breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Now you can also add in a phrase if you like. As you breathe in, you could say calm and relax, or any phrases that you might like, or you can just focus on the breathing, your choice. Breathe in, breathe out, feeling that tactile sense of your finger tracing your hand. You get to the other side, and then you can go back, and we'll do it again, coming back, breathing in, breathing out, in and out, calm and ease. Right. So that's just a quick grounding practice, something to help bring us here or now and now, to kind of put aside all the doing of the day, all the busyness, some simple way to kind of get grounded and to bring our attention to the present moment. So as you know, this is, I always try to do a couple of good meditations as well as some quick practices. You can see the agenda there, and we'll go through this, but just did want to open it up and see how it's going for you. How's your own mindfulness practice going? Curious if anybody has any feedback. If you'd like to unmute yourself or use the chat feature, either way is fine. How's it going? Are you able to still continue with some regular formal and informal practice? Remember, formal being able to sit down and do some sort of quiet meditation of your choice, but sitting down, closing the eyes, or at least turning inward and spending a few minutes on up to, say, 12 minutes. It could even go longer, but some of the research shows that about 12 minutes is the optimal period of time. And then the informal practice, just to remind you on that, is something like we just did with the hand practice, or being aware of routine activities, washing your hands or taking a shower or doing the laundry or doing the dishes, or, all of those tasks that we do all day long, bringing some mindful awareness to those kinds of things. So I've got something in the chat here. A couple of things. Good. Thank you. Being able to meditate really helped during a stressful time. Good. That's key. Being able to notice when you do meditate, how it helps you navigate, and it also makes me think of why do we practice? What's the importance of practicing on a daily basis or daily-ish, if you will? Well, the importance is it is just practice. It's practice, sitting in a quiet, non-stressed environment so that when we get out there in the world, we've trained our mind and our body to be more relaxed, to be more mindful and present, so that when stress comes, which it will inevitably, right, we are able to control our own reactions and our own mindful attention and awareness. That's what it's all about. So I'm glad, Sheila, that I was able to help you through a stressful time.
Hi, it's my turn. How can I help you?
What was that? Somebody wanted to add something in?
Hey, Yvette, how are you?
Yeah, hi, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you want to add something to your mindfulness practice?
1
I
second,
think she
Yvette.
unmuted herself in error, but
Okay. All righty. Thank you. And I see Jen joined the Mindfulness 1% Challenge. Good. I'm going to show you that on the next slide or two. So I'm glad you did that. I hope you find that good. I've done that before. It's you've got some good practices. So excellent. Doris, my practice is going well. I really make time during the day, even if only for 30 seconds. Good. Definitely at night. So that's the point. Even if it's just a quick practice, some days are really harder than others. And so 30 seconds or a minute, makes a difference. So to keep it going, keep your some kind of mindful practice going as best you can. Rose says, I put on my headphones, put on Insight Timer, another excellent app, and sit, be it on my deck or out in the backyard, the grass, or in bed prior to going to sleep. So yeah, glad to hear you're finding different places to do this. That's another thing, is to try different places that work for you, that you find very helpful, and ways that you can get into the mindful spirit and mindful attitude. Roberta, I practice mindful eating. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. That's I need to do more of that. I like mindful cooking. That's one of the things I find really helpful, is when I'm cooking, to really focus on that. Used to be kind of like an annoying task, but now I really enjoy it. And I think bringing mindful awareness to cooking, and then of course eating, that's the best part of it. It's good. So mindful eating is good. Taking pauses throughout the day, excellent. Body scan at bedtime, movement meditation, very, very good. Every morning, 5 days a week. Good, excellent. That's a great practice. Noticing increased stress during the fall transition. Yeah, I think a lot of us are feeling that, and feeling challenged to become more present more often throughout the day. Yeah, that does happen. Alicia, I'm trying to do better. Good. Well, that's the point. Striving. It's a funny thing. I keep saying, do your best to integrate these practices into your daily life, and in a sense, it's about striving to do that. But in another way, our mindfulness practice is, we bring a non-striving attitude when we sit down to practice. So what I mean by that is that we're not striving like we often do during the workday. We're striving to get things done. We're striving to, be present in a meeting. We're striving to get our point across. We're striving to achieve and, make things work in our lives. But in our mindful practice, we're not striving. We're just letting things be, right? So good that you brought that up. Yes. So good. So any other comments before I move on? Thank you for all those. Appreciate that very much. All right. Well, so today we're going to do a couple of quick practices, as well as we'll do a meditation called Calming the Overactive Mind. I came across something called Roam, and I'll show you what that is. It's similar to rain, if you remember that. And then the second meditation is Holding Your Problems with Compassion. And today, what I learned is Mindfulness Day. So happy Mindfulness Day. This is from Shamash Aladina, who is somebody that I've taken a course from, a a very good mindfulness teacher. Today, we celebrate the art of being present and embracing the beauty of the moment. I hope you're all having a wonderful day filled with mindfulness and peace. So he also offers a couple of these 3 quick practices. Kindful breathing, so even just doing this right along with me if you'd like. But these are quick things that you can do any day. So, and I will send the slides out so you'll have all this stuff too, to take a moment right now to pause and simply focus on your breath. You can do a regulated breathing like he's suggesting. Inhale for the count of 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, sort of what they call box breathing. Any kind of being aware of the breath, feeling your breath with a sense of love and kindness. Don't forget, breath is life. Repeat a few times and feel the calmness wash over you. Then there's gratitude. It's always good to come back to gratitude. I think it's a great way to kind of turn our attention to the good that is happening in our lives. It's so easy to be focused on the negative things that are going on. Then if you turn the news on, boy, that just, overwhelms us with negativity. So be careful with that. I think it's good to regulate the amount that we take in. We do have to be informed, I get that, but be careful about how much you let it, you don't want that to sink in. So turning ourselves to gratitude, thinking of one thing you're grateful for at this very moment, just do that right now. Just think of one thing. It could be a person, place, a simple pleasure, anything. Just bring that to mind. Close your eyes, appreciate it for a moment, let it sink in, savor it. Gratitude is a powerful doorway to mindfulness. And then the third is your senses make you sensible. So this is, again, what we did a couple of months ago. The whole refresher was on the 6 senses. The 6th senses are inner interoception. I'm saying that wrong, I think. But it's sensing the inside of the body, the inside sensations that we feel, along with, sight and hearing and taste and touch and smell, so the 5 senses plus the inner sense. So tuning into the senses, I've got another slide on this too later on. So just as a reminder. So here's that 1% challenge. If you don't know about it, it's on the M Life app that is through our EFR. 1% means spending about 14 minutes a day in a mindful activity. And you can sign up on our Achieve Solutions site. If you have trouble at all, just let me know. But you have to sign up and register for M Life first. You can access it on an app or just access it on your computer. And there are lots of different choices they have live meditations at various times throughout the day, and they have recorded on-demand meditations. And once you do those, it encourages to do at least 10 throughout the month. And you can start this at any time, by the way. You don't have to start it at the beginning of the month. So even if you start the last day of the month, you can still go through and do up to 30 days of these meditations. And I believe there are rewards that go along with different milestones along the way. So check that out. It's a great way to challenge yourself to do these on a regular basis. We have a Smile of Wellness workshop coming up on the negativity bias, why we expect the worst and how to change that. So this is by Dr. Aviva Ram, and it's coming up on the 21st, Thursday afternoon. That time is actually wrong. It is 4 o'clock start, but we try to finish by 5:15, not 5:25. The link is, when you get the slides, this is the link here. So that's how you can sign up. Oh, good. So Roberta says she's attended several workshops with Dr. Ram, and that's great. Excellent. Good to hear it. I've checked her website out. I've seen a couple of YouTubes, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. So All right. So that brings us to try to move this. I don't know what's in the way. Calming your overactive mind. And this is from, came across this on YouTube. They have a lot of good stuff, actually. Sarah Raymond is one of the leaders who leads these meditations. But this one I really liked a lot. And you'll hear it in just a moment. We'll do it. It's not long, but I mean, it's a good, as I said, kind of a meaty meditation. But the idea of it is to kind of bring ourselves into the present moment, especially when we're feeling anxiety or stress or depression. You know, last month we did focus on worry and anxiety. And so this is a little bit of a continuation of that. But so you'll hear, we're going to really just try to relax the mind and the body. We'll let the mind kind of do its thing. We'll let thoughts come and go, but we're not going to focus on them. But we're going to try to just really relax and release and let go in the body and use that as our anchor. And we'll be releasing feelings. We're calming an overactive mind, trying to experience peace in the present moment. So we're letting go of worries about the past and anxieties about the future. So let's begin. So this is our first meditation today. And so beginning by finding a position that's comfortable for you, well balanced, finding a way to kind of be relaxed, but also attentive. And we're going to actually start with the eyes open. So with the eyes open, focusing on a spot, a narrow focus on a single point in front of you, allowing everything else to kind of blur or fade away, and just focusing on this one spot for a few moments, kind of with curiosity and interest, sort of like a laser beam or a flashlight focusing in on one point in front of you. And now slowly broadening the field like a camera lens, widening. And notice everything around you without turning your head, but just being aware of space around you, the rest of your visual field from side to side. Just being aware of colors and shapes and textures. This is what's here right now, visually. And then again, narrowing slowly to that same single point, coming back to that flashlight of focusing in on that one point. And as you do that, you can let your eyes close and allow your attention to turn inward. So let's now take 3 deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth with a sigh. And do this at your own pace, welcoming a slowing down of your energy to gradually find stillness. If you like, you can begin by counting the breath in. So it might be that, say, to the count of 4 or 5, and then make your exhale at least 1 count longer than the inhale, or even more if you like. Just allow that exhale to be longer, and allow each exhale to carry away any physical or emotional stress or tension. Your body will slow and calm down, and you can consciously relax. Do a few more cycles on your own, enjoying the easy flow of your natural breath. And as you observe your breath, you can allow it to naturally slow down. Now let's become aware of our physical experience. Let's start with noticing the palms of the hands, noticing the energy, warmth, tingling or buzzing sensation. Again, kind of focusing in on the palms like this flashlight. Bring your attention right there to feeling the sensations in the palms of your hands. Exploring with some gentle curiosity. And now let your awareness broaden to be open to the rest of the body and any sensations that you notice. Sensing the aliveness in other areas of the body, feeling the energy moving within you. And let your attention just drift within you and scan throughout the body without judgment. You're in a place where you can sense your aliveness. And you're present living between your thoughts. And in this space, you can experience peace and calm. And look for anywhere you can soften and let go into relaxation and ease in the physical body. So you can let your thoughts go. And we're going to let our focus move to different parts of the body. I'll guide you in this part. And as we do this, just encourage a release to calm and soften part by part. So first, become aware of your feet. Just notice and relax. Feel that groundedness of the contact your feet make with the floor. Letting the feet be heavy and connected. And moving up, feeling into the lower legs and the knees, releasing and softening. And feeling how you can feel each part be heavy and solid as you allow it to let go. Moving up, finding a sense of ease in your thighs, up into your hips. Again, letting go, releasing, letting gravity sink into where you're sitting. Noticing the pelvic area, the lower back, the lower stomach. Relaxing, releasing. Continuing to breathe nice and naturally and easily. And moving up through the stomach, the chest, the upper back, shoulders, down the arms into the hands. Letting all these areas soften and relax. And the neck and the throat, the jaw and the hinges of the jaw. Let the jaw unclench, relaxing deeper and deeper. Letting the muscles, the small muscles of the cheeks, around the eyes and the forehead, let go and relax. Now your whole body is relaxed and at ease. So just let yourself go. Now that you're fully relaxed, you can begin the inward inquiry process. And you can let your thoughts come and go. No need to follow or attach them. Imagine they're like a river flowing gently downstream. Let your thoughts go so you can be here now. Wake to the sensations in your body. Let your thoughts go so you can make room. Make space for awareness without judgment. Whatever you're feeling is okay. You might recognize any self-talk that's going on, and again, let your thoughts come and go. Not engaging with them, just letting them kind of float on down that river. Allow yourself to move out of your thinking patterns and bring your attention to your felt experience. Giving yourself permission to simply experience and be curious. And if you find your mind drifting, that's okay, that happens. Our minds do that. Simply guide yourself back to the present moment sensations once more, being present, staying in the moment, and be okay with it. And continue to make space in your heart for whatever your experience, and simply be. Continue to come back to your felt experience in the body. This is our anchor. This is how we come out of the head into the body and take some time to nurture yourself. You might place your hand on your heart and offer yourself some kindness and compassion. And begin to deepen your breath once more, tuning into the breath. Allow it to nurture yourself. And pause to truly notice this deep sense of relaxation and slowing down and quieting the thoughts. And then slowly begin to reactivate each part of the body, beginning to feel your energy coming back into the body, awakening your body slowly. And when you're ready, opening the eyes, take this calm state with you as you continue your day. And you might want to move around a little bit and stretch a bit as we finish, coming back, reconnecting with your surroundings. And so that was calming an overactive mind. So hope you enjoyed that. Please let me know what you thought. Appreciate any feedback. Again, you can unmute, or if you want to use the chat, please feel free to do that. I'm going to move on because I'd have another one I want to get to. This is a quick practice. I'll go over this quickly. It's sort of like the rain practice. I got it from the Mindful Leader. That's an active link there. So when you get the slides, you'll be able to, if you want to read the whole article, it's not, put some excerpts here. Good, couple of nice comments. Thank you for that. Calming and relaxing. Yes, I found the same thing. So Rome is, the R is to recognize when you're feeling stressed, just noticing the experience of being caught or overwhelmed, kind of noticing that fight or flight reaction that we can sometimes have. Almost as if you're a scientist standing off to the side, just noticing it, maybe labeling it. Oh, there it is, my heart racing, or Notice what you're feeling. Maybe whatever anxiety or panic or stress, whatever it might be. And then being open to awareness. So this is about, I like this image of downshifting from high alert and opening up to your full capacity. So in those first moments when your stress reactivity is triggered, it seems like your entire world is sort of like consists of that threat. It's almost like a toothache, like when you have a toothache, it's all we can focus on, right? But being open to awareness, even, kind of being aware of our senses, being aware of what's around us, can help us be more spacious and allow. That's the next step. The A is allow whatever is here to be here. We typically want to get rid of or move away from difficult sensations or experiences or stress. So we're just allowing it to be there without personalizing them. You might say to yourself, there's fear happening, there's that thought again, there's a feeling of contraction in my gut or my back or my forehead, whatever it is, just noticing it, allowing it, and then moving forward with wisdom. Better able to make decisions in this way. So this last line, you will now be responding wisely rather than reacting automatically. And that's really what it's all about. So there's a couple more comments. Thank you for also relaxing, calm and relaxing. Good. Appreciate that. And then, so just to remind you that, again, this is something from a couple of months ago, but I always find these things tuning into your senses. And you can do these flexibly, whatever, it could be 5 things that you touch instead of see, but, do what works for you. But 5 things you see, 4 things you hear, 3 things you touch, 2 things you smell, 1 thing you taste. If you go through this, might take you a minute or so, but it's a nice quick practice to get in touch with your senses, to get out of your head and into the body. So now this brings us to the last full meditation. It's called Holding Your Problems with Compassion. Diana Hill is, and this is an active link, also brings you to her website. She's a clinical psychologist. She combines what's called ACT therapy with mindfulness, which is part of ACT anyway. ACT is acceptance, commitment, therapy. And I don't know a lot about it, but I've learned a bit about it by reading some of her stuff. And what we do in this is we hold our problems, in other words, bring some of those problems that are going on in our lives with compassion, but we also bring some perspective to them. And you'll see what that is like when I go through this. So let's do this second and last meditation. All right, so take a minute to, again, find a comfortable position that you're familiar with, probably a position that you can be still and quiet as we move through this, being relaxed, but also alert and attentive. You can close your eyes, or if you prefer, you can keep them slightly open with a downward focus in front of you, but you don't want to have any visual distractions. So whatever works. And just being aware of you right now in this present moment. That might include noticing senses, maybe sounds, maybe what's present in temperature of your skin, or the touch of your clothes on skin, or the air on any open skin. Being aware of your feet on the floor, your body sitting in the chair, just kind of just noticing what's happening right now through our senses. In other words, turning from the outside in, what's happening inside. And then being aware of the breath. The breath moving in and out of the body. The breath can become our landing pad, our home inside that we can return to when we get pulled away or hijacked. When our attention brings us somewhere else, it's coming back to the breath or the body. And being aware of other inner sensations. Maybe there's tension or relaxation, just again, quickly scanning, sort of like we did before, what's the felt experience in your inner landscape. What's going on in the mind when there may be certain worries or thoughts. What's the state of your mind right now? Just noticing, you don't have to get caught up in them, just being aware. Sometimes we realize that there are patterns that, reemerge, problems that are sort of like repetitive, looping in our lives. And often we're trying to solve those or fix those or avoid them, numb ourselves to them. For now, we're just going to allow one to be present. This one, maybe describe that problem. It doesn't have to be a big problem for yourself, but something you're familiar with. Sort of a well-worn road. A feeling may come up, some imagery or thoughts may come up as you get in touch with this. Just allow them to be. Just try to step back from them, but just be curious and notice. And imagine now that you're sitting on a timeline of your life, right here with this problem, right here and now, this hard thing, feeling the weight of it. And this one spot, this X marks a spot on your timeline. And you can see on the timeline to the left, all the way back in the past. And to the right, it travels forward as you're getting older. The timeline stretching in front of you all the way into the future. But for now in the present, we have this problem. It's important to us. It's something we care about, obviously. It feels big and relevant and heavy. Might feel a little bit like that toothache that I mentioned. But imagine you could get up and walk along to that earlier timeline. And you might notice that prior point earlier on the timeline where you were grappling with something that feels similar in flavor. Whatever it was, maybe not feeling good enough or being left out or not belonging or something that you were grappling with. And choose that time and imagine that version of you at that time. What it was like being you at that time and with that problem, what you were doing, what you were dressed like even. Just bring as much detail as you can, walking back to this version of you. And maybe how hard it was to be you and how entangled it felt at that time. And imagine you're walking towards that you. And that version of you sees you. And they can tell that you know what it's like to be there, unlike anyone else. You can see their problem and their struggle unlike anyone else. You know what it feels like to be you. And you can sense, I know. And remembering to continue to breathe. And you sit with them, and you might even hold their hand or give them some physical gesture of being with them. And give them some comfort and care that you know what it's like breathing with them. Maybe taking their hand and feeling that connection. And traveling with them back along this timeline to this current spot, to this X marks the spot. And they sit with you. And you come back to your problem now and notice what it feels like. Maybe it's a little different, having this perspective of your younger self. And now looking to the right, into the future, walking towards you is an older version of yourself. Noticing how they walk and what they look like and what their hair and skin is like and what it feels like as they look into your eyes. And only they know what it feels like to be you and the struggles that you're feeling. And as they approach, you feel the presence of this older, wiser version of you. And they say, I know. They get it. So just breathe and take it in. Maybe they reach out their hand or they touch your shoulder. There's some physical gesture, and they sit and tell you a few things about what they have learned. And you listen and breathe and drink it in. And here you sit at this X marks the spot of right now. Right next to you on the left is this earlier version of yourself, and on your right is this future version of yourself. And everything you know and have learned and have overcome. That gives you some compassion. And on your right sits your future, and that has compassion for you now, that cares for you and wants the best for you, and that understands. And here you are now in the present moment with more perspective and compassion. And you can tell yourself, I know. Now, taking in your deepest breath, feeling the wisdom from inside fill you up. You feel the wisdom encircle you like a cocoon. And feeling that compassion from your left and the compassion from your right, from inside out. And breathe in compassion and breathe out compassion for yourself. And as we come to an end, use this breath of compassion and use these allies of your past and future selves to remind you to zoom out, get some perspective, and to trust the wisdom that you already have. And so we now reconnect with the awareness of our body and our breath before we close, kind of stabilizing, breathing nice and slowly and deeply, feeling the anchoring of our body as we sit. And when you're ready, gently opening your eyes with this greater perspective and awareness and self-compassion and commitment to live by the values that you hold dearly, moment to moment. So that ends the Holding Your Problems with Compassion by Diana Hill. And I wonder what you felt about that one. I'd love to hear. Either, again, feel free to unmute if you want to share, or use the chat feature. Before we close, we just have it's 1:15, so I'll try to wrap up another minute or two, but I would love to hear what you thought of that one. If you want to learn more about her, there's a link there when I send the slides out. If you happen to be new and you joined this through LMS, let me know. Send me an email, and I'll make sure you get the slides, because that's the best way to make sure that when I send them out, that you'll get them. Okay. So thank you, Roberta. So helps to experience and feel the compassion for myself. Good. Thank you. Just want to remind you before we do close, we're still doing the phone meditations. So those are always available 5 days a week. And also about the app, that again, we're doing the challenge this month. You're welcome. I see that. Thank you from Jen. And other resources on our website, we have guided meditations. Keep those in mind. Other apps are available, and I put all this stuff on my YouTube channel, so that's where the recording will be, but I'll send that link out as well. So thank you. Thank you for your comments there. Appreciate it. Good. Yeah, try the quick practices as well. And thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate you all being here. And hope you have a great rest of your day, and wonderful late summer going into fall. And take good care of yourself. It is a busy, stressful time of year. So got to really make sure that we take that extra time for ourselves, right? So, namaste. Peace, shalom, and thanks for joining me. Be well.